We are gathered here today in front of Vanapa Hall, as you can see behind me. Protesters have gathered to oppose the adoption of the Forest Conservation Amendment Act in the Mizoram Legislative Assembly. This act has become highly controversial, becoming a political ploy. NGOs and activists are strongly opposing it. Opposition parties have called for a special assembly to drop the adoption of the act. And people here have gathered to show that they are against this act.
Vanapa Hall, usually known for film screenings and political events, turned into a protest site on September 11th as hundreds gathered under the banner of the joint civil society movement demanding the repeal of the Forest Conservation Amendment Act, or FCAA 2023. The protests came after the Mizoram Legislative Assembly adopted the act in August. Protesters say the law gives the central government sweeping control over Mizoram's land and forests. They fear it will allow New Delhi to use land for projects, mining or security purposes without the state's approval, undermining Article 371G, which protects tribal land rights. Many carried placards with sharp messages reading, "We love our forests, not rare earths," and "We will not sell the land God has given us." They also accused the Mizoram government of rushing the act's adoption in the assembly without debate.
In this Forest Conservation Amendment Act, Section 4, Subsection 2, the Act gives absolute power to the central government in Mizoram. So our party, People's Conference Party, do oppose this Act, and we support any activity to oppose this Act and this amendment adaptation.
You know, even the opposition MLAs were not aware that this system or this adoption would be put up in the assembly. As we all know, even the leader of opposition and the other opposition leaders, they said they did not even receive what the agenda was for the assembly well past midnight. So without any preparation, the government more or less hijacked the session so that this controversial law can be adopted by the government of Mizoram. So as Congress, our stand is very clear. From 2023, we were against it, and even at a national level, I think if you look back at what Jairam Ramesh ji wrote about this act. So from the inception of this act, we were already against it, and our stand as of today is still the same. And especially in the context of Mizoram, it is a direct attack on our tribal rights, the rights which our constitution has granted us via Article 371G, where we decide on the transfer land and ownership of land is our right. This has been diluted, and we absolutely are against this move of the ZPM government of Mizoram.
Former Home Secretary H. Lalbiagzama warned that the law leaves Mizoram with no say in land use decisions.
The controversial Forest Conservation Amendment Act of 2023 is totally unacceptable for the Mizoram people, because at Section 1A, Subsection 2, the whole of Mizoram have been completely extracted from this act. And within that, the central government is to decide strategic important places and where it's going to place the army or whatever security forces it decides. We have no say on that. Since the act is not going to cover us anymore, they don't need to take any clearance, no procedure. We don't have any right to say anything on that. So I hope that the central government will also take this into consideration and make it safer for the people and more acceptable, especially for us Mizoram people, since that 100 kilometers radius from international border is going to cover the whole of Mizoram like a baby.
The protesters also included several students and research scholars who pointed out the risk of misuse of the act.
With regards to this FCAA, I've heard multiple complaints with regards to the south, where it happens in the south. For example, let's say in the Adivasi people in the south, their lands have been snatched multiple times. Even 13 people were died, and those people, those indigenous peoples, those Adivasis, they were said that they were Maoists. So you see how the state imposes this FCA and snatches this land. After that, it gives these lands to Tata and other corporations. So you can see these kinds of things happening against the people. So the FCA is not merely just snatching those lands; it's also encroaching a lot of people's lives.
We are here to save our state, Mizoram, as well as to save the tribal community here, because we can see that if 100 kilometers from the border are being taken by the central government, we, the owner of Mizoram people, will have no right. So on behalf of people gathered here, I would say that it is my greatest support of revoking this Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023.
Forest Conservation Amendment Act is very detrimental to the development of the Mizo people, especially in Mizoram, because in the act we have been studying the act since it was passed in 2023 in the central government, and it is written non-forest purpose. So it is not very clear what is the non-forest purpose. So I think it is very bad for the Mizo people and the Mizoram Legislative Assembly to pass this act to be used in Mizoram.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to EastMojo. For any queries, put them down in the comments section below and press on the bell icon for notifications.